This latest executive order is just one of many attacks against lawyers and law firms that Trump has made since taking office. At the beginning of March, Trump did the same thing to another big law firm, 𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗧, as retribution for its work on Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign, removing its lawyer security clearances and barring them from federal buildings. Last week, he issued the same executive order against law firm Jenner & Block as retribution against its attorney Andrew Weissman, who served as lead prosecutor in Robert Mueller's case. And he did the same thing back in February to the firm Covington & Burling as retribution for helping to provide legal advice to special counsel and channel daddy Jack Smith during his investigation and filing of federal indictments against Trump. And again, earlier this month, Trump issued another executive order aimed at the firm Paul Weiss as retribution for a pro bono lawsuit it brought against January 6th insurrectionists and for its hiring of attorney Mark Pomerantz, who headed a case against him in the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. 𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗧 acknowledged that in just the few days after Trump's executive order against them, the firm lost significant revenue as clients began jumping ship. And Paul Weiss didn't even put up a fight, instead meeting with Trump in the White House and penning a deal in which Paul Weiss committed to doing $40 million in pro bono legal work for causes of Trump's choice. Brad Karp, Paul Weiss's managing partner, defended the deal, saying it was in the firm's clients' best interests, as many clients had said they need to drop them in order to avoid being seen as an adversary to the president. The move was roundly criticized, as a judge had already ruled that one of Trump's other orders was unconstitutional, plus Paul Weiss didn't even attempt to put up a fight, and it sends a signal to the administration that these firms will fold easily with each new executive order. It makes the entire rest of the legal community vulnerable. But Brad Karp, under pressure from the business law practice of the firm, reportedly, instead succumbed to greed and cowardice, as elites and lawyers did for Hitler in the 1930s, by kissing the ring in a futile attempt at self-preservation. The rest of us be damned. Additionally, in a memo published earlier this month, Trump ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to file ethics challenges against any lawyer they deem has brought meritless cases, including in immigration courts, and go after law firm partners for the actions of junior attorneys. So not only is he attacking firms and stripping them of federal government access, he is directing his lackeys to actively attempt to strip the licenses from lawyers who go against him. Earlier this month, a federal judge barred much of the executive order against 𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗧 from taking effect, but much of the damage has already been done. The firm has lost revenue, and it's been put on notice, along with literally every other law firm in the country, that they better toe the line and think twice before taking on any client or filing any lawsuit that may put it at risk of being targeted by Trump. And that is a huge problem. Remember how I said private law firm lawyers provide a lot of pro bono support to immigrants, for example, to nonprofits pushing desegregation efforts, for example, to filing habeas petitions for the wrongfully accused, and they're also some of the best lawyers in the country. The aim of these executive orders is not just to exact revenge on the law firms for harboring lawyers who wronged Trump. It is so much bigger than that, because as I've been screaming for months, it is lawyers and judges who are providing the final check on Trump's power grabs. It is the rule of law that stands as his greatest obstacle now. Lawyers and judges enforce the law. By effectively barring the lawyers from every single major law firm in the country from practicing in federal courts or filing lawsuits they think he might not like out of fear of retribution, he's limiting how many lawyers are available to file the lawsuits to begin with. He's effectively limiting all future lawsuits against him, as anyone in his crosshairs is going to have an impossible time finding legal counsel willing to stick their necks out to represent them. The New York Times quoted Daniel C. Richman, law professor at Columbia University and former federal prosecutor, saying, quote, "If you're a political enemy, you really need the best representation when the government comes after you for who you are. Chilling the lawyers who represent those people hurts the rule of law, because when the government can't be legally opposed, the law provides no protections to anyone, and you start to live in an autocracy." He doesn't even have to rewrite the laws if there's no one there to enforce them. This, combined with his calls for impeaching judges like Judge James Boasberg, who is overseeing both the Venezuelan immigrant planes case and the Signal message leak, is the way he breaks down these final barriers to his power.